Hi, my name is Patrick Kelly, and I'm the Director of Career and Technical Education for the Lawrence Public Schools. And I've been asked to share a little bit with you about design thinking and how design thinking was used by the USD 497 Middle School Elective Design Team. We use design thinking because it's a process that really helps educators and people who aren't designers think about problems in a creative way and come up with solutions that are usually a bit unique. And it has a way of really designing or coming up with solutions that are with the end user in mind. It involves 5 steps. The steps were developed by the design school at Stanford University, and it's used all over the country. And there's even trainings for educators on how to use design thinking when solving problems in schools. The first step in it is to empathize, and that's to really think about how the end user is affected by the problem. So with this group, we really spent time thinking about what questions we wanted to ask different groups of people. That included teachers, it included business and industry, it included parents, and it included students. We collected most of that data through surveys. It took us a couple of tries, I'll be honest, to make sure that we were really comfortable with the information that we were getting. The next step in that design thinking process is to take the data that you've collected and define it and really come up with what the problem is. A lot of times we try to solve problems without really taking time to understand the question. And we often use a point of view statement. So again, putting ourselves in the place of the student, of the teacher, of the parent, and say, Johnny needs a way to have more access to elective courses, and surprisingly, this is available to him. And so it's a way of phrasing that question and saying, how might we, and keeping that focus on the student and the learning that you hope to achieve. The next step is the ideate step. It's really where we come up with interesting, creative solutions to the problem that we've defined. There are a set of rules in doing ideation, and you see them listed here. And we really encourage wild ideas. We say go for quantity, not quality, because sometimes those wild ideas will get you to think differently about a problem than you ever have before. Our teachers spent a lot of time in this section of the process really thinking about what would be possible, trying not to hold each other back or criticize or say that won't work, but what could really be possible. Then the teams move on to something that we call prototyping. And it's probably just what you think it is. It's a representation of some of the ideas. We can't obviously prototype every idea we have, but the ideation stage helps us sort of figure out what might be workable. You learn more about what might be workable by actually doing the prototyping, seeing what might happen. Some of the problems will pop up as you do the prototype, and you can sort of address those as you go, continually developing that idea. And then the final step, and the step that you'll be involved with, is the testing of it. The teachers will share their ideas, share their prototypes, and get feedback from others that may adjust the design before they actually begin implementing. Sometimes people think that design thinking is sort of a linear model, and it's really not. You can see here in this, it is circular. Once you get to that implementation stage, you need to go back to your users and see how it's working for them. So this is a little different model that we're using. The high school is using something similar in their redesign efforts. And I think it's a really great opportunity, and it's a little bit of a different way of thinking about how we can solve some of the big problems, including elective choices at our middle schools.